Okay, yogis, I invite you to just come onto your mat. So we're gonna work on mobility of the hips and the shoulders, the ankles, but we do wanna take care of the wrists because you will be on your palms for pretty much the whole position. And it's very quick, so I want you to give it your all. Okay, so interlace your fingers, and I want you to pull the fingers apart, lower the right arm down, and all you're gonna do is wave. You wanna push down and pull. Notice my fingers are not lifting up. All right, that makes a big difference. And you're not doing this. I really want you to get into the fingers and the wrist joint. Right arm up and reverse. And you'll see why this is gonna make a big difference. You can always stop if your wrists are bothering you, but always take care of your wrists before you start weight bearing. Shake it out. Okay, coming into quadruped. Spreading the fingers, keeping a flat back, so make sure your lower back isn't arching. I want you to think navel toward the spine, and your back is just flat. And you're pushing straight arms, that's gonna make a big difference. Knees underneath the hips. Curl the toes, and now keep the toes really curled. Hover the knees, take your left foot, cross it over to the right, and pivot around. And then you can adjust, you don't have to follow the mat, and lift your chest. Okay, and now we're gonna reverse. You're gonna move the left palm and pivot back around, come back down and reset. So we'll do 2 for 2. So now we're gonna go to the right. We're gonna go to the left. Hover the knees, take your right foot over to the left and pivot around, and you can adjust the arms. Keep your chest lifted, make sure not collapse. You wanna keep that lift because it's gonna help you with the next part. And pivot back around, crossing the leg, coming back to start. Pause for a second. If you think about it too much, that's when it gets confusing. I just want you to really go with the flow. Try to pay attention to your right and left, like I'm trying. Okay, spreading the fingers, hover the knees, cross the left over to the right, and pivot around. You can adjust your fingers. Notice I'm off the mat, keeping the chest lifted, the butt lifted. And reverse. Lift the right arm and pivot around and come back. So you're just crossing the arms and the legs as you pivot. Hover the knees, right foot over to the left, sweep around and lift the chest. And then lift left arm, step the right foot back, come back down. Curl the toes, sit on your heels, and shake it out. Okay, now we're gonna try a different variation, and I want you to think about that chest opening so you're not collapsed, because you want that lift so you can create that more mobility in the shoulders and the upper back. So you're gonna start in this crab seat position, and we're gonna go in different degrees, and I really want you to think about going higher each time. So lifting the chest, turn your fingers out, straight arms. Inhale and exhale, lift. And work those glutes, work that booty. And lower it down. We're gonna go a little bit higher each time. Inhale, exhale, lift a little bit more. And see if you can push with the arms, really work on that shoulder and wrist and arm strength, and lower it down. We're gonna go higher. Inhale, exhale, lift, and this is where you have to really start working your glutes. So we're not going fully into reverse tabletop just yet. And slowly lower it down. Okay, get ready, maybe you need to adjust your hands. Inhale, exhale, lift, 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 squeeze, lift, keep pushing straight arms, have your nose face the sky, squeeze those glutes even more. Can you lift, lift, lift? Open up the chest. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And slowly lower it down. Stretch out the legs and shake out the wrists. Now this is a great stretch for the wrists. Many of you have done it with me, and I highly recommend it before we continue. Okay, find those sit bones, back of the palms down. I have long arms, you have long arms, you start here. Shorter arms, you start here. Otherwise, you won't feel the stretch, and this is such a good stretch. Inhale, lean back, stretch. Make sure the thumb and the pinky finger are spreading. Shift forward to release. shift back to stretch, shift forward to release, shift back to stretch, shift forward to release, and now just shake it out. Okay, so now we're going to try and go a little bit deeper from the crab. Spread the fingers, and now you're going to turn your fingers back a little bit. So they're facing toward the front of the mat. Well, whatever you consider the front of the mat. Okay, lift your chest, and now start to lift, gradually lift, 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 lift. And now keep squeezing the glutes, and take the left arm to the sky and reach up and over and look back. Look back, reach, reach, reach. Lift those hips, and then slowly lower the palm, lower the hips. Now we're going to go to the other side. Inhale, exhale, lift, 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 squeeze the glutes, keep lifting, 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 and take that right arm up and over, reach, 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 and see if you can even look at your thumb. Keep lifting, reaching, squeezing the glutes, and then slowly start to lower the palm and then the glutes. Okay, I hope you can see why the wrist care is really important. Now we're going to go a little bit deeper. So you got to lift those hips and lift the chest. Inhale, exhale, lift the hips, lift the hips, lift the hips, lift the hips. Squeeze those glutes, push straight arms. And now take that left arm to the sky, reach, keep lifting the hips, and take your right shin down. Lift, push, and pivot into quadruped. Okay? So now we're going to come back to that position, and we're going to do one more for the other side. And if you happen to do the opposite side I'm doing, that's okay, because I can't remember sometimes the side I'm doing and mirroring you. Okay, ready? Inhale, exhale, lift, 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 squeeze the glutes, lift your chest, push. And now take the right arm up, reach, 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 and take the left shin down, and slowly start to pivot, coming back to quadruped. Sit on your heels and shake out the wrists. Now, this is also a really good stretch. Bring the back of the palms down. Fingers facing the mat. Release your shoulders so you're not like this, and elbows to the mat. And I'm feeling my wrists. I'm assuming you're feeling your wrists. So you want to take care of your wrists, especially after being weight bearing. Okay, so I really recommend, we did 3 different variations. If you had any difficulty with any of them, maybe tightness in the chest or the upper back or the hips or the quads that are limiting the lift or the rotation, the pivoting from side to side, from quadruped to crab or reverse tabletop, just keep practicing. That's all you can do. Well, I'll be adding more, so practice this and see what you are capable of doing. I will see you next time.